Yo, what is going on, everybody? My name is Pokémon Max, and today I'm going to be doing a video over the top Pokemon you should be powering up in 2023. Now, before I start, I know Monday is my usual day posting, and I didn't post on Monday. I apologize for that. I just had a really busy weekend, Father's Day, and a lot of stuff. But anyway, with that, let's jump right into the video for the top Pokemon you should be powering up in 2023. Let's get started. I almost said 2022. Alright, so how this is going to work is that I'm going to be going over 3 Pokemon for each typing that you should be powering up. I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. Don't want to take up too much of your time. 3 Pokemon, 1 budget Pokemon, probably 1 Shadow Pokemon, and 1 Pokemon for the Mega. Going to go through every type like I said. And without further ado, let's just get right started into the 2 useless types in the game. I'm just going to do Bug and Poison as 1 type. So for Bug types, not really much. But I would stay away from powering up any Bug and Poison types just to begin with. There's not really much use for them. But for the Bug types, you're going to be looking at Beedrill, because Mega Beedrill and Weedle spawn quite a bit around. You can definitely get a lot of candy for that. So Beedrill is a good one to look out for. Heracross, if you live in that area of like the hemisphere area, I don't know exactly where it is, but like Florida, the Caribbean, and stuff like that. Heracross is definitely a good one to look out for because of Mega Heracross, which will be coming out. And definitely budget Pokemon if you live there, but if you don't live there in that region, then you could stay away from Heracross. And then another good bug type would be Mega Pinsir, or just Pinsir for Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir is a pretty good bug type as well. So bug down, let's move on to Poison. Poison type. Now, I'm only going to do 2 poison types because I don't know the meta for poison types. I've not used poison. I only use 1 poison type, and that poison type is Nihilego. Nihilego, I'm pretty sure, is second best poison type in the game. Definitely a good one to be using if you want to use poison types. Otherwise, stay away from everything else. Just use Nihilego if you're going to use a poison type. And if not, Mega Beedrill is also a pretty decent poison type that you can use if you want. But really, just stay away from Bug and Poison as just raid counters. And also, these are all for raid counters, not PvP. I'm not doing a PvP list, meta PvP list for each type. This is all raid counters, so stay away for Bug and Poison types for raid counters. Really, the only exception one is Nihilego. That might be a little bit of a biased opinion because I like using it, but just stay away from Bug and Poison types. So let's move on to the next type. Alright, now moving on to flying types. So the flying type also isn't really the best type to be using unless you're going up against like a bug fighting type such as Buzzwole, Pheromosa. But let's talk about flying types. So probably the best flying type in the game, I'm pretty sure, is Shadow Moltres with Sky Attack as the charge move, and no, oh my god. Sky Attack, Wing Attack, Sky Attack, Moltres, and pretty sure that's the moveset. Shadow is the best flying type, Shadow Moltres with that moveset. Now, Shadow Moltres hasn't come out in a while. I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming out next month in Shadow Raids because we just had Articuno for this month of June. So then July, I think we're going to be getting you a Shadow Moltres, a Shadow Zapdos, hopefully Moltres. But with that, Shadow Moltres is definitely one. Obviously, the legendary, hard to get candy. So if you can't be raiding a bunch, Pidgeotto, I always get the line confused. But the fully evolved one, I'm sorry, I get this line confused so much. Pidgeotto, whatever it is definitely a good one to be using as a Mega out there. It's a pretty decent flying type. And this Pidgey spawns everywhere, obviously. But if you don't want to be using that, you want to be running a Shadow Pokemon, use a Shadow Pokemon you could be using Shadow Honchkrow. Shadow Honchkrow as a flying type is actually pretty good. It's kind of like a Glass Cannon-ish. It's pretty Glass Cannon-ish, kind of. God, I can't talk right now. But Shadow Honchkrow is definitely a good one to be using if you want to run a Shadow. Now I'll make 2 honorable mentions to this one. Shadow Staravia. I get all these lines confused. Staravia, one of those 2. Those are definitely a good one to use Shadow form. And Mega Rayquaza, when it comes out, hopefully this Go Fest, hopefully this Go Fest when Mega Rayquaza comes out, will definitely be probably the best. Alright, I'm editing this right now, and Mega Rayquaza is confirmed, definitely coming for Go Fest 2023 this summer in August. So Mega Rayquaza is coming. It's going to be a beast. It's maxing out like over 6,000, close to 7,000, I'm pretty sure. Going to be best flying with Dragon Ascent. Yes, Dragon Ascent is coming. You have to get Dragon Ascent to Mega Evolve Rayquaza. Go watch someone else's video, I'm not explaining it in this one. But Mega Rayquaza with Dragon Ascent will be, I'm pretty sure, the best flying type in the game, if not top 3, but definitely will be a very good flying type and a very good dragon type. So with that, back to the video. Flying type attacker. definitely, if you get Dragon Descent 2, would be the best flying type attacker, Mega Rayquaza in the game. So, with that, let's move on to the next category. Alright, next one, Dark type. So, Dark types, best one I'm going to probably be saying is Darkrai. Now, I'm going to mention, I'm not really looking at the sheet of like the meta Pokemon. I'm kind of going off the top of my head right now, but all these are good. My knowledge of Pokemon Go is very good. You can trust this list, trust me. Just check out my YouTube channel if you want to see the rest of my excellent Pokemon Go knowledge like that. But Darkrai, definitely a very good Dark type Pokemon to be using. I'm not even gonna try to talk about the moveset right now, but Darkrai, good one. Number one, Darkrai, Shadow Honchkrow. It's also a good Dark type. Again, it's expensive, hard to get. I don't even know if you can get Shadow Murkrow anymore, but Shadow Honchkrow is a good Dark type to be running, as well as Shadow Weavile, also a very good Dark type to be running. Now, if you can't be affording all this stuff because it's expensive, Lost Stardust and Darkrai only comes to raids about once per year during the Halloween season. If you don't want any of those stuff because those are expensive, a good budget Dark type, or once probably was, maybe not so much now, would be Hydreigon. Hydreigon, I'm pretty sure, is one of the best, if not the best Dark type to use. Bite, Brutal Swing on Hydreigon, very good. As well as Mega Tyranitar, which is coming out next month, July. Coming out in July, next month for me, whenever you're watching this, it's coming out in July. Could already be out by now, who knows. But Mega Tyranitar also, with Bite, Brutal Swing, will be a very, very good, and I think probably the best Dark type attack when it comes out. So definitely get those. Remember, Hydreigon and Tyranitar are probably the most budget-friendly Dark types, as well as Houndoom. It's a pretty good one, Mega Gyarados, but anyways, those are the Dark types. Let's move on to the next type, which is going to be Electric. Alright, Electric types. So Electric types, we're going to be looking at Shadow Raikou. Is definitely the best Electric type as right now. Shadow Raikou, very, very, very strong Electric type. Going to be coming to Shadow Raids probably really soon because it seems like they'll be releasing it in order of how they used to come out. So Shadow Raikou probably coming around, I don't know, maybe like October, November, December, around that time. Shadow Raikou will be coming out. Very good Electric type attacker. Also, Shadow Zapdos is a pretty decent one. If you can't be affording all this stuff because both are expensive and you have to raid for them. Good Electric types are Pharos, has a Mega Manectric is also a good Electric type to be looking out for. Also, Electivire, pretty good one. Shadow one too. Really hard to get though. I haven't seen an Electabuzz spawn in the wild in literally such a long time. Zekrom also too. Zekrom Fusion Bolt, very, very good Electric type to have. And other than that, Xurkitree. Oh my god, I completely forgot about Xurkitree. I'm like scrolling through Pokemon Go right now. Xurkitree, I'm pretty sure very, very good Electric type. I don't want to say it's top, but very, very good Electric type. And for that, that's pretty much it. If you really need a budget one, you could run Jolteon. Not horrible Electric type. Definitely not the best. Thundurus, Therian form, the one with the legs. Also good Electric type. But really just stick to your Shadow Raikous, Zekroms, and if you need a budget one, I guess just Electivire, but then again, this is pretty hard to get now. So really just stick with your Shadow Raikous and Zekroms. But anyways, with that, next category. Alright, Fire types. Fire types, there's really only one Fire type I would be running, and that is probably either Shadow Apex Ho-Oh or Reshiram. Those are honestly the two best Fire types in my opinion, and probably are the best Fire types. Apex Shadow Ho-Oh, Sega Fire Plus, definitely a good one to be using. I have mine right here, as you can see on screen. I'm just gonna put a picture on screen too for you guys for sake of convenience. And as well as Reshiram. Reshiram is also another very good Fire type with Fusion Bolt. Now what? Fire Fang, Fusion Flare. Fusion Bolt, it's not an Electric type. Zekrom, no, oh my god, I can't speak. Shadow Ho-Oh and Reshiram, two very good Fire types. But if you can't run that, Charizard is also very good. Charizard is a good Fire type. Charmander spawns quite a bit, not very frequently, but Charizard's good, has a Mega. Shadow Moltres, also a very good fire type, not flying. Entei is pretty good Shadow, but Chandelure is decent Fire. Had Community Day, so you should also have that unless you're new. That's really it. Just stick with your Shadow Apex Ho if you have one. Obviously you only have one, so stick to that if you have it. And Reshiram. If you don't have that, Charizard, perfectly fine, use your Charizards. So let's move on to the next type. Alright, next one is fighting. I'm gonna try to pick up the pace a little bit. I feel like this is getting a little too long and I have a bunch more types to go. So fighting, Shadow Machamp, best one so far. Shadow Machamp on your Terrakions if you have a Sacred Sword. If you don't have that stuff, Dome Machamp just as good, as well as let me see. Fighting. Heracross isn't a terrible option. Blaziken Mega isn't a terrible option. Buzzwole, Shadow Hariyama isn't a terrible option either. Mega Heracross will come out the Mega. Really, that's it. But as you can see on screen, hold on, let me bring up the screen recorder right now. My fighting types are really lacking. So that's kind of unfortunate. But fighting types, stick with your Machamp, Shadow Machamp, and Terrakion. You'll be good. So next type. All right, dragon types. It's a pretty broad thing because Dragon's too effective in Dragon and all that stuff. But really, Shadow Dragonite, Shadow Garchomp, because that just came out, Rayquaza, Salamence. Those are the ones you want to be sticking with. Budget Dragon types. I mean, we have Haxorus just came out with Community Day, so you can definitely use Haxorus. I really don't think there's any budget Dragon types because Dragon types, oh my god, I can't spell. Dragon types are really hard to find, but I'm telling you, this Shadow Dragonite, Normal Dragonite, if you have Shadow Garchomp, Normal Garchomp, Salamence, Shadow Normal, and Rayquaza, those are the best. Stick with those for your Dragon types. So let's just keep going. You know the drill. Next type. Alright, Ghost types. And Ghost types is really, honestly, two pretty clear straight up winners. And it's going to be your Chandelure and your Giratina Origin, the one without the legs. Those two, probably the best ghost types you could be using. If not that, you can also be running Gengar. Also, I forgot about Gengar. Gengar, Mega, also a great ghost type you can be running. Sorry about that noise in the background. That's really it. Mega Bayonet, I guess you can use Hoopa. Unconfined form, also pretty good. And that's really it for your ghost types. But just stick with your Gengars, Chandelures, and Giratina Origin, and you will be perfectly chilling with your ghost type Pokemon. So, next type. Alright, grass types. Grass types, also two clear winners. Kartana, Mega Sceptile. Only two grass types you really want to be using. Trico is spawning right now, for at least where I am in the Americas, it's spawning. Kartana used to be in raids, not anymore unfortunately. Should be coming back pretty soon, because we saw Nihilego, so I think we're going to start getting all the Ultra Beasts back shiny. But Mega Sceptile, Kartana, Sceptile should be very accessible Pokemon for all of you out there. If not, if you can't get those two, Venusaur, Bulbasaur had 2 community days, I'm pretty sure. So grab yourself Venusaur. Leafeon isn't horrible. You can run Leafeon. Roselia also isn't bad, but I haven't seen Roserade spawn in such a long time, so if you want to, you can run that. Breloom isn't horrible. Zarude's also very good grass type, but we all got one. You might not even have one. So you can use Zarude if you want, but it's going to be a really expensive one to power up. Really just stick with your Kartanas and Mega Sceptile. That's pretty much the best grass types. Alright, moving on to ground types. Ground types again. One clear winner, Groudon. Choose your primal Groudon. If you don't have that, if you weren't playing for the home tour, that's perfectly fine. Garchomp is also good. Garchomp is also a good ground type, especially in the shadow form. Mamoswine Shadow, also a very good ground type. Stick to those. Those should be really accessible. The Mamoswine should be pretty much accessible. She'll also have Mamoswine. She'll also have a Garchomp if you were playing for the community day. If not that, you can also run Rhyperior. Rhyhorn spawning around. Not Rhyperior, but Landorus with the legs. Also a good ground type attacker. But really just stick with your Groudons and Shadow Garchomps if you have to. Or if you can, not if you have to. With that, you know, next type. Alright, ice types. Again, there's one clear winner for ice type, Shadow Mamoswine. Please use your Shadow Mamoswines. I have Hundo Mamoswine, as you can see on screen. This Hundo Mamoswine is mine. Not Shadow, unfortunately, but it's 50 max. With the moveset, Powder Snow Avalanche, I'm pretty sure that's the best ice type moveset. If you don't have any good Mamoswines, you could also run Shadow Arcuno. It's not a horrible ice type. Definitely not the best. Avalugg, I know isn't decent. Galarian Darmanitan isn't horrible. Walrein isn't horrible. Kyurem isn't horrible. But really just stick with your Shadow Mamoswines and normal Mamoswines if you absolutely have to. Well, not if you have to, just stick to that. Alright, Rock type, like I keep on saying, one clear winner, Tyranitar. Specifically because of the Mega. As you can see on screen, I got my shiny 98 Tyranitar right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Also Rampardos, definitely a very good one to have. Use your Rampardoses and Mega Tyranitars. If not that, Gigalith isn't horrible, Rhyperior isn't horrible. You could even run Nihilego if you want to. Aerodactyl, 2 isn't horrible, has a Mega, but definitely going to be outclassed by Mega Tyranitar when that comes out. Terrakion, also very good Rock type. Definitely not the best though. But really, stick with your Tyranitars. Rhyperiors as a budget. And then I say Rampardos too. Shadow Aerodactyl also, if you want to add a Shadow in that mix. So with that, we have 4 more types and 1 type I'm not even going to talk about. So video's almost done. It's not like it's a bad thing, but alright, Steel types. And again, if you couldn't guess, one clear winner. That one clear winner is Shadow Metagross. Please run the Shadow Metagross. As you can see on screen, my God, guys, I can't speak. This is my Shadow Shiny Metagross right there. But stick with the Shadow Metagrosses. It's not Shadow Metagross, normal Metagross. Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash, best moveset on there. If you don't have Metagrosses, Scizor isn't horrible as a steel type, especially in the Mega. Dialga isn't a horrible steel type, but definitely not the best. You can run Mega Aggron also if you want to, but definitely not the best. Just please stick to your Shadow Metagrosses and normal Metagrosses. Everyone should have at least one Metagross. If not, you're new and that's understandable, but everyone should have at least somewhat good Metagross. So use that as your steel types. Alright, water, and if you couldn't guess, there is one clear winner, and that is Kyogre. Kyogre is the best water type in the game, especially in the primal form. Run your primal Kyogres, guys, please. If you don't have Kyogre, Gyarados, Shadow Gyarados, both 2 good options, especially in the Mega for the Gyarados. Swampert Mega, also a very good water type. Curd for Alligator isn't horrible. Palkia, I guess if you really wanted to. But otherwise, honestly, stick to your Mega Swamperts, Primal Kyogres, Mega Groudons. You can run Vaporeon as a budget option if you really want to. But again, stick to the Kyogre. Kyogre is probably your best bet. Alright, Psychic types. But do I even need to talk about Psychic types? Because obviously, the best Psychic type you should be running, and probably the best Pokemon in the game, is Mewtwo. Mewtwo is the best Pokemon in the game, best Psychic type. Mewtwo can be even used as Electric type, Fighting type. What else random moves you can learn? You can learn Fire type moves. You can really use Mewtwo, especially Shadow Mewtwo, as really a lot of types coverage if you don't have the right counters for that. But for those Psychic types, stick with Mewtwo. Again, obviously not everyone has Mewtwo, but you should. It just came out in Shadow Raids. But if you don't, Alakazam, not a horrible one to be using. Latios, not horrible. Zelf just came in raids. I would stay away from it, but again, not horrible. Gardevoir, not horrible, especially as a Mega. Hoopa, Unbound, again, not horrible, but really, out of all those, the thing that shines the most is Mewtwo. Just use your Mewtwo, guys, especially Shadow Mewtwo, for the Psychic types. So with that, let's move on to the final type. And guess what? The final type is Normal, and Normal is the most useless type ever in Pokemon Go. Normal type Pokemon don't get used. They don't do super effective damage. Normal type itself doesn't do super effective damage. You can have normal type Pokemon that have moves that do super effective damage, but normal types don't do super effective damage. I spelled normal, not normal. Normal. There's no good normal types. Like, Blissey you can use for gym, but we're not talking about. No, just don't touch your normal types. Don't power up normal types. Power up Blisseys and Snorlaxes for PvP and gym, but we're not talking about that right now. Stay away from normal types. But with that, I've been Pokemix Max. This video has been all over the place. I'm extremely tired right now. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful. If you want to see part 2, which would technically be PvP meta for each type, let me know in the comments down below if this video does good. Again, I apologize for being a mess, but I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for no video Monday. I'm gonna stop talking now. I've been Pokemix Max. I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.